What's going on, everybody, and welcome to episode 79 of the Game Room Podcast. I'm Rome.
I'm Dev.
And, man, what a fucking week. There's a lot of big stories to get to, and we're going to really come off as a Ubisoft podcast for most of the show. Yeah. There's about, 10 stories to go through with Ubisoft tonight. Okay. Between Assassin's Creed Shadows, Star Wars Outlaws, X-Defiant, Ubisoft stocks, and all that, and we don't really know what's going to happen with Ubisoft, to be honest. We'll have to see where we go from here. But other than that, we have other things to talk about, fun stuff. We're going to talk about Xbox Tokiyo Game Show. We're going to talk about the state of play from last week. But without further ado, before I get into the headlines, again, this is the Game Room Podcast, where every week, usually on Mondays, sometimes on Tuesdays, we do a recap.
Sometimes every week.
Sometimes. It's been such a crazy few weeks, honestly. Yeah. You were sick, and then, we wanted to do it yesterday, but I had an appointment that ran late, and, it was just...
tired in general.
It's insane. But, like I said, this is the Game Room Podcast, where each and every week we sit down, we kind of recap the past week's news, including some of today's headlines. If you're watching us live, kind of a bonus for that. And we, react to stuff, talk games, and all that. Maybe some of our cats will show up. You never know.
Special appearances.
Easter eggs, always keep an eye out. Yeah. But let's get right into the topic of the show. Devra, what is going on at Ubisoft? Don't answer that yet.
Okay.
Because we have a lot to get into, and then you can tell me what you think is going on at Ubisoft. And I'll tell you what I think is going on at Ubisoft. So, this story developed throughout last week, where originally just some weird stuff was going on. So early in the week, obviously, again, Tokiyo Game Show was this past week. And Ubisoft, a day before Tokiyo Game Show kicked off, or 2 days before, on September 24th, in fact, Ubisoft canceled its online appearance at Tokiyo Game Show. So it had commitments to be a part of the event online. Yeah. And it canceled those. Ubisoft said in a statement released by Ubisoft Japan that we regret to inform you that due to various circumstances, we have decided to cancel our online participation in Tokiyo Game Show, which was scheduled to start at 3 p.m. on September 26th. So, 2 days before.
Yeah.
This was something that was definitely really interesting. And then it went further as Assassin's Creed preview events were, press previews were canceled as well. This happened on the same day. where they came out and they pulled the plug on these. They said that they weren't going to be happening. Now at this point, people are starting to worry. It's like you have a huge game coming out in November, Assassin's Creed Shadows.
And you have nothing to show.
Yeah, you have so little to show that you're canceling press events at the big event, the biggest event before your game comes out.
Yeah.
Because Tokyo Game Show is the end of the summer. It's the last hurrah of game showcases, and then we're in it. Like right now it's October. Happy October, by the way. We are in the game releases. Like Starfield's Shattered Space came out yesterday, and Zelda came out last week, and now it's just like we're just going.
Yeah.
We're going till December, where it's just games. Not a lot of showcases.
We get a Call of Duty this month.
We do. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for Black Ops 6. I have a lot of expectations for that. But, so, yeah, for them to pull out like that, everyone's like, what's going on? Well, we found out the next day, Assassin's Creed Shadows has officially been delayed to February 2025. Ubisoft has delayed the game to Valentine's Day, February 14th, 2025. According to a statement released on social media, the developers need more time to polish and refine the experience. Additionally, players who pre-ordered the game will receive a refund, and future pre-orders will receive the first expansion for free. Assassin's Creed Shadows will launch on Steam Day 1 as well. More on that later. Honestly, I was really surprised by this. So they said, "Dear players, Assassin's Creed Shadows is a dream project for us, finally bringing the series to feudal Japan with many features developed with our community in mind, such as parkour or the renewed stealth, brought by new technology, all set in a beautiful and immersive world. This is an ambitious addition to the franchise, a rich experience that can be lived through the eyes of two unique protagonists. But we realize we need more time to polish and refine the experience, pushing further some of our key features. As such, we've made the decision to postpone the release date to February 14th, 2025. The game will release on a broad range of platforms, including Steam at launch. Additionally, pre-orders will be refunded and all future pre-orders will be granted the first expansion for free. We understand this decision will come as disappointing news, especially to those who've been waiting patiently for Assassin's Creed games inspired by feudal Japan, but we sincerely believe this is the best interest of the game and ultimately your experience as a player." Ty says, Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
Rest assured, we are looking forward to the moment you will embark on a memorable adventure with Nao and Yasuke. Until then, we thank you for your ongoing support. This was from Mark Alexis Cote on behalf of all teams working on Assassin's Creed Shadows. You know what my first thought was?
What?
Man, Microsoft needs to move Avowed. It's the same day. Or the same week.
Yeah.
If I'm Xbox, by the way, I'm pulling Avowed to January. Just pull it up. If the game was done, just bring it up. But other than that, my thought was really, I'm honestly shocked by this. I thought that the game looked pretty good in showings. We'll talk about some more details later. Ty says, after the release of Outlaws, it's clear Ubisoft needs to focus on quality control. They need more delay. I'm happy with the delay. I am too, for what it's for the record. I am always a pro delay guy. Yes, there are times where the optics of it really hurt, like Xbox when they delayed Starfield, etc., etc. But at the end of the day, get your shit together, make sure the game is the best it can be, and then put it out. There's always something to play. There's always something going on where it's just gamers will be fine. Ubisoft needs to take care of itself. If the game comes out and
it's great, people forget the delay anyway.
So for sure.
If that's the goal, to make the game great, I'm all for it.
Right.
Yeah.
So obviously, as you can tell based off the script you're looking at, Devereaux, as soon as this delay came out, things just started. It didn't stop.
Yeah.
So we're gonna kind of I'm not gonna say rapid fire through this stuff, but there's a lot. So we're just kind of gonna move through it and give thoughts as we go. So Ubisoft, as I said earlier, will release games on Steam on day one moving forward, starting with Assassin's Creed Shadows on February 14th. All new releases from Ubisoft are going back to day-and-date release with Steam and Ubisoft Connect. Star Wars Outlaws, which we'll talk more about the performance that game did, is also coming to Steam on November 21st. Recently it was announced that Steam broke its record for most PC players online with over 38 million. According to SteamDB, Ubisoft's hope is returning to Steam will help increase the overall sales of its games moving forward.
Yeah, of course it will.
Right now Steam is the largest platform to play games on.
I wonder if that's what caused the delay, trying to get it working on
Well, I don't know if it's
PC.
the largest platform. Actually, I don't want to say that. That's probably not correct. But I mean,
I
it's
think you're
40
right,
million.
though.
It's 40 million.
I
It's a
feel
lot
like-
of people.
I
I
feel like-
don't want to speak for that because I don't know what PlayStation's numbers look like. I don't know what Xbox's numbers look like. Regardless, but again, regardless, it's like it's the same thing you're seeing with PlayStation testing waters, putting their games on Steam and on PC and stuff. It's like that PC market is just a market it's not shrinking. So you know, your games aren't doing well in one place. You got to try to put them in as many places as you can. Ty says, I look at Ubisoft's roadmap for Outlaws, and there's some good patches along with DLC. We'll be talking about that as well. He couldn't help but feel the release date on Outlaws should have been November. I actually agree with you on that. So, did I get both? No, okay. So, there were some stock stories about the stocks dropping. I only grabbed the last one for the script, which was on the 26th, where Ubisoft stock prices fall to an 11-year low after Assassin's Creed delay. Ty says, the Steam releases going forward make sense. At the same time, it further solidifies Steam's dominance, which isn't ideal, and I actually agree with that as well. You don't want a monopoly in a space, including the PC space. I would like to see kind of Epic Game Store try to figure their shit out. I don't think they're going to be able to, though. So Ubisoft's fall continued in a historic way. The first day of trading since announcing that Assassin's Creed was delayed, Ubisoft stock prices on the London Stock Exchange fell to an 11-year low. At the time of the writing of this article, Ubisoft stock prices were sitting at 9.28 euros per share. It's the first time since November 2014 that shares had fallen below 10 euros. The current trading price is a near 20% fall of yesterday's decade low price. To add to the bad news, Ubisoft's market cap just sits at just about 1.27 billion euros. Just over 3 weeks ago, it was 1.99 billion euros. So in a matter of weeks, their market cap dramatically. I mean, that's not half, but it's close to half of your market cap.
Yeah. The thing is, I believe, like Ty just said, he almost bought stock. He's glad he didn't. But I feel like now is probably the perfect time to buy stock.
You know what
It's
they
at its
they
lowest
say
and
buy low, sell high.
Yeah, and I believe in Assassin's Creed Shadows. I don't think it's gonna be bad when it comes out.
I don't think it's gonna be bad either.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, we're gonna analyze this a little bit deeper once I get through more of these headlines, because I do think it's, on paper, it is a really crazy thing that Ubisoft is just failing right now.
Yeah.
But again, let's keep going for now. Ubisoft investors say it has support of 10% of shareholders for a sale of the company. An investor in Ubisoft claiming it has support. An investor in Ubisoft is claiming it has support of 10% of shareholders looking to make a major change to the top of the organization, including a sale. First reported by Reuters, AJ Investment says that it is building support for a sale of the company and potentially a change of leadership. Quote, we call on management of Ubisoft to allow the sale of the company to third parties or private equity firms at a fair price. The firm, which owns less than 1% of the company, said it in a letter shared by Reuters. The firm didn't name the other investors it claimed to have support of. They also declined to provide that information to Reuters when asked. AJ Investments first made calls for a sale. We talked about this early in September. Remember, we talked about how this group was calling for a sale. Now they're picking up traction. They're like, well, now we have some more support behind us here.
Okay.
Which, to be fair, I actually kind of would like to see Ubisoft sold, depending on the buyer. And I would, at the very least, I would love to see Yves Guillemot step down. I don't think he's done a very good job at running Ubisoft.
I'd be okay
in
with
the
that.
near future.
I don't want anyone to buy Ubisoft, if I'm being completely honest.
Okay.
I really, really don't.
See, for me, it matters who. Like, if it's Tencent, I don't want Tencent
No,
owning
I don't want.
Ubisoft.
Yeah, I hope they can stay independent. I hope they can change leadership and like not sell. Like,
You know what would be really funny?
what?
If Xbox bought them. I mean, do you think there would be an issue with that, though? I mean, because it's like...
I don't want them to.
I'm not saying whether you want them to or not, but just kind of think about it. Like,
Oh, Ubisoft.
would there be backlash
Yeah.
if Xbox bought Ubisoft?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know, because it's like when Xbox bought Activision, the idea with the issue was that Call of Duty is the biggest shooter in the world,
Yeah.
right? Does Ubisoft have any games where it's like that is the like leader of the genre? I mean, like Assassin's Creed's great, but like you could
I do think
argue
it's the leader of the
like
genre.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, well, I mean, I would argue Zelda's the leader of the action adventure genre. You know what I mean? Like
I mean, it is.
what would you say is then?
No, it is, but like I think Assassin's Creed is a different.
Well,
Well,
you can also point to PlayStation does great action adventure games. Nintendo's has Zelda. Like there are other great action adventure games out there.
They all do shooters too.
Yeah, but Call of Duty is just way better numbers. PlayStation doesn't really do shooters anymore.
Not anymore. Yeah, but yeah.
And Nintendo's got Splatoon, so I push back a little bit on that, but I get what you're saying. I don't know. Meanwhile, while this is going down, Yves Guillemot, wonderful human being, sarcasm, had an internal memo to staff amid the company's struggles. The memo includes announcing the delay and the news about Star Wars Outlaws. Here it is. Dear all, we just issued a press release announcing our revised financial targets for the current fiscal year. First, Star Wars Outlaws initial sales proved softer than expected, despite solid ratings from players that recognized the game's faithful transcription of the original trilogy's essence and richness. He goes to tout some of the scores. While players praised the sense of detail and the beauty of graphics, the effectiveness of the reputation system... What's something going on in the other room? Will significantly improve the player experience. In parallel, publishing teams and developers are closely collaborating to increase the engagement with the game and boost acquisition during Black Friday and the holiday season. In today's ultra-competitive market, players expect extraordinary experiences and ultra-polished games on day one. We need to continue to improve when it comes to fine-tuning our games and delivering outstanding gameplay. This is what will enable Ubisoft to again create the best games in the industry. Consequently, we have decided to delay Assassin's Creed Shadows. The game is already playable and of high quality, and has all the features the team wanted to integrate into our ambitious experience. This unusual decision at such an advanced stage is motivated by our desire to offer an optimal experience from launch on all platforms and various PC configurations, and to remove the small frictions we typically use to address in post-launch title updates. What are your thoughts on this stuff?
I don't know. He sounds like a scummy guy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's more to the memo, but he says, lastly, I'd like to address the recent polarized coverage around our creative choices. We are an entertainment company. As such, our objective is to not endorse any specific agenda. Our mission has always been to entertain players and enrich their lives with original and memorable experiences that resonate with a global audience. I do think some of this has to do with the critique about historical accuracies, which I'm going to hold off because there is more. I think that we have more about that later in the script. This setback should not discourage us, but serve as a learning experience and drive us to act even more quickly, more than ever. Let's continue to believe in our ability to bounce back while approaching the challenges we face with lucidity and determination. I'd like to thank you for your commitment and reiterate my confidence in our collective ability to surprise and meet the expectation of a growing number of passionate players in the long term.
I don't know. It's just fans make me mad about I don't know. It's dumb that they have. It's a video game where you play as an assassin who jumps.
You fight the Pope.
Yeah,
you fist fight the Pope.
You fight the Pope.
You fist fight the Pope.
You get help from Leonardo da Vinci. It's a video game.
Yeah.
I don't know. It makes me mad. But
Ty says, if anyone buys Ubisoft, say goodbye to half of those employees. That's 10,000 jobs gone, probably. Absolutely. Ubisoft has always been a few steps from greatness, more quality control. I'll push back on that. There was a period of time where Ubisoft was greatness.
Yeah.
We're talking the Assassin's Creed 2 days when you had Assassin's Creed firing all cylinders. You had Splinter Cell. There was so many IP that Ubisoft was... When was the
last time Ubisoft felt that way? The last time. Where they put out something and you were like, you know what? These guys are the greatest.
Probably back then. I mean, if we're talking about output as a group, as a publisher, I'm not talking singular titles.
You're talking about a run?
I'm talking about a run where it's hey, wow, look at all these games Ubisoft's putting out from the Assassin's Creeds when they were really good, from Splinter Cell, Far Cry.
But when do you think they stopped? Because I've heard Far Cry 6 is horrible.
I've heard bad things too.
Yeah.
If I had to put a estimation kind of on it, honestly, it would probably be around the
after Origins.
No, I would say after Syndicate. I think after Syndicate was where you saw a big shift in in Ubisoft where they were kind of like Ubisoft has their formula, like we joke about like the Ubisoft formula, but then I felt like they hit a point where they were like, Ty says Assassin's Creed Origin was really good when it came out. It is, and I'm not saying it's bad.
I still think it's probably one of the best ones of the.
I think what happened was that they had Assassin's Creed Syndicate come out, and they hit a point where they were like, after that they were kind of like, not only are we going to follow our Ubisoft formula, but we're going to start chasing trends. And I think that's something that Ubisoft has really done in recent years, where it's like, not going to get into an argument about live service games, but they really have chased the live service thing. They've really chased it. And I don't think that anything's really hit for them. Maybe outside of, I don't know, nothing. I was actually, for a second I forgot that Apex was EA. And I was like, oh, maybe Apex, but like, not like, no, like they tried the Battle Royale thing and it flopped. They've tried these live services and they flopped.
Think that's it, right? I can't think of, besides like maybe X Defiant, I can't think of like a Ubisoft.
I mean, I know you like them, but The Division was kind of like that, and The Division kind of fell off.
But like The Division 1 and 2 were both great games.
Ty says, as for the grifters, the toxicity is so weird. It's not even just weirdo gamers. It's consumers in general just wanting to fight some imaginary ghosts. I agree with Ty on this one as well. I just think that people are... You should have seen Ty in our Discord the other day. I'm not going to get into it, but like, Ty's like, what? Yeah. Ty knows what I'm talking about. February 2025.
I almost feel like it's not so much the trend chasing. If you look at Ubisoft games, the one complaint everyone has is, oh, this game's just like the last one.
Yeah.
So like, it's kind of something that, even with Assassin's Creed, like it built them up to just build off of what they did last year. Maybe not as good. Right. It's just, I don't know. I guess you can't keep that up for so long. I think it's less about trend chasing and more about being stagnant and like.
I think it's both. I think it's almost impressive, but they're chasing trends and being stagnant at the same time. It's like, it's truly impressive. That's why I would definitely call for Yuzgumo to get the boot, to be honest. Not only is all this going on, but Ubisoft's board is launching an investigation into the company's struggles. It has been announced that Ubisoft's executive committee and board of directors are launching an investigation and review of the company. The news came via a company financial statement and update, which included the delay of Assassin's Creed and Star Wars Outlaws underperforming. In the light of recent changes, we acknowledge the need for greater efficiency while delighting players. As a result, beyond the first important short-term actions undertaken, the executive committee, under the supervision of the board of directors, is launching a review aimed at further improving our execution, notably in this player-centric approach, and accelerating our strategic path towards a higher performing model to the benefit of our stakeholders and shareholders, i.e., potentially Ty. Like, he was going to be a shareholder. Yeah. And he was like, well, wait a second. Hold on. Back up. They say, finally, me address some the polarized comments. Oh, no, this was something we had already read. So board of directors is trying to figure out why Ubisoft aren't making great games. Which is good. I mean, like, it's course correction, and they need it, so... it seems like they're going to try to make a bunch of moves, like the Steam launches, and another one here is Assassin's Creed Shadow is getting rid of traditional season passes, which I'm very happy about. Ubisoft had quite a few announcements today regarding Assassin's Creed Shadows. Not only were fans informed that the upcoming RPG will be delayed until February, but the company was also released that they will be departing from traditional season pass models. What does this mean exactly? In a recent announcement, Ubisoft announced that the new Assassin's Creed Shadows will depart. I don't know why this article felt the need to repeat sentences there. That was great. Originally, the Season Pass was sent to allow gamers who purchased it to play a bonus quest available at launch and then have access to 2 later expansions. While the Season Pass will still be there, fans who purchase the game on launch will be able to enjoy it in its entirety, regardless of whether they have the Season Pass or not. The company also announced that those who pre-order the game...
buy it? I'm confused.
We don't buy the Season Pass. I think they're saying that the Season Pass, like the content releases, will still happen, but you don't have, like, they're not, like, charging you for the Season Pass.
Okay, so it's just content that they're releasing.
Yes. I think because it's too late. Like, they already have the wheels in motion. I think that they already have these things planned. They're just not going to charge for it, I believe.
I think that's probably only due to the delay, because that doesn't sound very Ubisoft.
Well, what is very Ubisoft right now is failure. Yeah. So they're probably trying to get away from that.
But also money.
When you have the board of directors, I understand that, but when you have the board of directors saying we need to take a player-centric approach here and figure out why our games are underperforming, well, I mean,
but
listen. We've talked about it, and like my thing is, you believe that a live service game can be good, and that's fine, and I don't disagree with that. But at the end of the day,
no, don't get me wrong. I absolutely want this content for free. I just don't think season passes are what's killing Ubisoft at all. People are going to buy the game regardless, and if they want to spend more money, you're going to spend more money. It's the game itself, the core game that you're paying for, isn't good.
So here's my thing about it. I think that at the end of the day, they're trying to shake bad vibes, just for the lack of better. I mean,
they're just trying to get back on good graces. I can see that.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think it's like, oh hey, well we're going to be on PC day one. We're going to get rid of paying for season passes. Like, I just think at the end of the day, the way they're looking at it, my assumption, my guess is that they're like, hey, what's going to work? Make great games. That's it. Like, we don't need to nickel dime customers. Like, we've seen it. We see it in games. If you make a great game, people will buy it.
Exactly. So if you make a great game, this extra content on the side doesn't mean much.
But again, to others, they might look at it and be like, well, it's an incomplete game.
It's like,
I'm just telling you what I see people say. I'm personally not a fan of season passes.
But getting it for free doesn't make it a complete game. You just get it later. You just don't have to pay for it. The game has to be good.
But what I'm saying is
that extra content doesn't. I'm just saying the extra content doesn't make the game great or bad.
I agree with you that the extra content coming later doesn't, like, the day one game needs to be good. Completely agree with you. But I'm saying, and this is just me speculating, of course, that like I can just see it where like players in their mind they're like, okay, well, people have criticized season passes for like, well, you keep stuff away from the players who buy the base game. Maybe they still get it later, but you don't have to pay for it. And it's part of the base game in a way, in terms of price. That's just me speculating. I don't know, but they had to have done it for some reason. Like, they wouldn't just do it for no reason. But yeah. Some Star Wars stuff before we get into the rest of the Assassin's Creed stuff. So we've talked about this a few times. Star Wars Outlaws underperformed officially, confirms Ubisoft. Ubisoft has officially confirmed that Star Wars Outlaws underperformed internal expectations. The revelation came via financial targets update from the company on Wednesday. In a release and subsequent conference call, Ubisoft said the game release was softer than expected. That's despite what they called solid ratings. We'll talk more about how many it was speculated that it sold. I'm actually going to move down the list real quick and get to that, since they're kind of like in the same thing. Where was it? There it is. So Star Wars Outlaws sold reportedly just 1 million copies in the month since it launched. It was plagued with issues, some of which led Ubisoft to make drastic tweaks. It wasn't well received by the general market, and gamers worldwide have been giving it pretty low scores. It comes as no surprise to learn that in the entire month being on store shelves, Star Wars Outlaws has sold just 1 million copies. It's not as many as Ubisoft expected, which explains the recent comments about the game's performance proving softer than expected. It's also partly why Assassin's Creed Shadows was considerably delayed, being pushed from November to February. Insider Gaming hasn't been able to learn what the expected sales figure was for Star Wars Outlaws, but they've secured a current sales figure from sources close to the game. At the time of writing, Star Wars Outlaws has just ticked over 1 million sales worldwide. To put that into perspective, January 2024, 3 months after Assassin's Creed Mirage hit the market, it secured 5 million sales. In early trailers and demos, Star Wars Outlaws impressed gamers. Excited to explore a vast open-world environment with a new character following an original story in the Star Wars universe. As time wore on, sentiment around the game wavered somewhat, and gameplay videos released close to the launch of the game failed to fill consumers with a sense of anticipation. So, Deborah, let me ask you this firstly. Are you surprised that Star Wars Outlaws underperformed?
Not really.
I am.
You are?
I am.
There was a lot of hype behind it, and then I was hyped for it. Like,
I'm very hyped for it.
Yeah, and then
I just haven't played it yet because of Octopath Traveler.
Which we'll talk about. The stuff that people are saying about it, you can kind of see it in the gameplay of it. It's just, you just hope there would be more to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, my thoughts on it are like, okay, so like what happened? And I think for starters, kind of like what the article from Insider Gaming kind of speculates, there was a lot of like gameplay videos that went around right before the game came out, and like it was buggy.
Okay.
It was very buggy. I mean, like remember I showed you the one, like it was like he's just driving the bike, and then like all of a sudden like just clips
I
through.
didn't see that one.
I sent it. Whatever. It doesn't matter. But yeah, so there was definitely some concerns with like some bugginess. And I think that
I feel like even a lot of good games come out and they're buggy at first, and you patch up the bugs, and that holds up.
But I just think people are getting sick of that. I don't know if that's gonna work anymore. People are tired. They want these games to be good when they buy them day one.
And I get that.
I agree. Like I think that's what you should expect.
I don't think this was that. I don't think this is the straw that broke the camel's back. You know, this wasn't like Cyberpunk bad.
Well, I mean, then my other speculation, my other thought process is like, has Disney really wrecked the Star Wars IP that much?
No.
That like this is a licensed game, Star Wars, one of the biggest IPs of all time, in what like in the promotional stuff looks like a really solid Star Wars product.
The only reason I would push back on that is because all the Disney Plus, there hasn't really been bad Disney Plus Star Wars stuff.
Agree, but the problem is that like the movies really killed a lot of the buzz. As a Star Wars fan and someone who talks to other people that have liked Star Wars, like a lot of them point to that trilogy, the movie trilogy that they did, where it was just like that killed it for a lot of people. And like my thing is like, for example, right, like Solo, which came out after The Last Jedi. I stand by that Solo is a great Star Wars movie.
I agree.
It's a great movie on its own right. It's a great Star Wars movie, and it's great world building. Like it's got really cool like imagery. It's got like it's just a really cool movie, and I really enjoy it. And then so like Darth Maul's in it. Darth Maul just fucking shows up, and they never do anything with it because people were like, Star Wars sucks now.
But also, that movie came out before The Mandalorian. That movie came out.
Oh yeah, it did.
It came out before Obi-Wan, which I heard was great.
Right.
It came out.
It
before,
was phenomenal.
The Boba Fett. So like, I feel like they won their graces back. I don't think that's the big issue with the game. I just feel like it's just a mediocre game. It's a 7 out of 10 game when people were expecting something a lot more.
Well, I mean, and that's also the other thing. And Ty kind of says all these games are buggy, but the Jedi Survivor did well for EA.
Oh yeah, Jedi Survivor was super buggy. Yeah. And they patched it up, and there's still a great game underneath it. I think this one, there's just an okay game underneath those bugs.
I don't know.
And like, and people, because I've also seen it, people love this game, but I think they're big Star Wars fans. I think you would like the game.
I probably will. I'm gonna play it eventually.
Yeah, I think you're gonna love the game. I just feel like for the people in the middle, this wasn't for them.
I just think right now
the
Ubisoft
Star Wars fantasy didn't keep them in enough.
I just think Ubisoft just isn't passing the vibe test.
Yeah.
I like that's the biggest thing. I just don't think it is. But just some other Star Wars stuff before we move on. Star Wars Outlaws Lando story DLC has been dated, which is coming November 21st. Sees the protagonist Kay hired to infiltrate a high-stakes sabacc tournament, which is what Lando plays against Han in the Solo movie.
Okay,
it's a great movie. Ty says Dev's right. If the game is amazing, no one cares about bugs. I don't know if it's
like Starfield was super buggy, but people still love it. I think a lot of these big AAA games, they're going to be buggy day one. I think it comes with it, and as long as it's not Cyberpunk bad, people give it a pass.
Yeah. And then Ubisoft also kind of put a roadmap out for Star Wars Outlaws in its first DLC pack, which I said was November 21st.
Yeah.
The next title update will focus on bug fixes and improvements. It comes out October 3rd, which is in 2 days. On October 24th, Title Update 3 will focus on quality of life improvements for the game. Finally, Title Update 4 is launching on November 21st, includes updates to combat and stealth. It just sounds like I should probably wait till December to play this game.
Yeah. I think this game's going to be a late bloomer. I think it may not blow out any other game. Like, it's not going to sell millions and millions, but I think it'll as long as they keep supporting it, it'll be a steady growth.
Right.
You got bad.
No. Well, the Star Wars Outlaws developers do promise to continue to improve the game.
Okay.
After what Ubisoft said was an underperforming launch, Star Wars Outlaws developers have taken to social media to promise players continued improvement on the game. In their post, the developers started off by thanking players for the support of its game since its launch. They went on to say the team is hard at work on new updates to the game that will bring a number of fixes, features, and improvements. We're hard at work creating multiple title updates which will bring optimization, gameplay, and polishing tweaks as well as quality of life changes, including adjustments to combat and stealth gameplay, the statement reads. In addition to the promises of improvement, it was confirmed that the game's first story pack, Star Wars Outlaws Wildcard, will launch November 21st. The date coincides with the game's release on Steam. So I don't think it's the end for this game.
Yeah.
But again, if you're Ubisoft, you're like, oh, okay, well, Star Wars isn't doing well. Assassin's Creed is getting delayed. And X-Defiant is also under-delivering. Ubisoft CEO Yves Guillemot confirmed that X-Defiant has fallen behind expectations amid company struggles. This week, the news that X-Defiant was struggling went somewhat under the radar, following what is arguably one of Ubisoft's most challenging periods in recent memory. First, it was announced that Assassin's Creed Shadows was delayed, then Ubisoft was launching a board. The board was launching an investigation. Star Wars underperformed. All this stuff's going on, and like real low key, it's like, oh, by the way, X-Defiant. Yeah. It's like it's such a bottom of the priority list for them, but it's like, oh yeah, by the way, this is also not doing well. It's like, I don't even know, man. It's like, as part of these major announcements, Ubisoft held a trading call, which we talked about. A lot of these stories are kind of bleeding together because they're all like little tangents of everything. But the game fell below 200,000 daily active users in 24 hours throughout August. Saw a 40% daily uptick in DAU throughout its daily rewards program. While good on paper, players, spending, and continuous player engagement are the answers to prevent the game from going on life support. At the time of this writing, X-Defiant leadership still hopes that Season 3 will be the start of bringing players and their wallets back. So,
what they should do is, and I think we'll talk about it later on when we get to Xbox, but like, put in some skins from your other franchises or something. Like, you got to spice up the game, maybe in a cheesy way, but you got to get people into the game. Like, give people an Ezio hoodie and a I don't know, something. You got to pull people in.
Yeah, just give it Ezio hoodies. That's really the answer. That's really that's all I ever fucking wanted. Just give me Ezio. Give me more Ezio. Yeah. Let me play as Ezio. Bring in Ezio's voice actor.
You get a dagger, something.
Yeah, right.
Related to your other franchises, because you got to get people in.
Well, Dev, do you think that's the end of Ubisoft's misfortunes?
Yeah, I think everything's uphill from y'all, right? You've reached the bottom. You can't get any lower.
Ubisoft workers have been encouraged to go on strike.
Oh, no.
Over a return-to-office mandate. Employees at Ubisoft's French offices are being urged to strike over the company's recently announced global return-to-office mandate. STJV, I'm not pronouncing what that stands for, made calls for a strike over a 3-day period in October. According to the union, the decision to mandate a return-to-office policy without any tangible justification or consultation with the workers' representatives. After more than 5 years of working efficiently in the current remote work context, I would argue that that's maybe not 100% true. Many of our colleagues have built or rebuilt their lives, family life, housing, parenthood, etc., and simply cannot return to the previous working conditions, the union's statement reads. Our employer knows this perfectly well. The consequence of its decision will be the loss of our colleagues' jobs, the disorganization of many game projects, and the drastic increase in psychosocial risks for those who retain. As far as what they are looking for, STJV says its demands are clear. They want a formal agreement on remote work, as well as an increase in all salaries. Because whenever you're going on strike, it's like, we also want a raise. Yeah. Like, this has nothing to do with the money they're making. But they're like, well, while we're at it, we want a raise.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, like, I get it. I'd probably do the same thing. But so STJV is asking for all France-based employees to go on strike from October 15th to October 17th. Dev, what are your thoughts on this?
We've talked about this before with like coming back to work, moving out of going home and coming back in, and it's tricky on both sides. I get both sides of the argument. I think it just sucks, like they're right. You work from home and like now your life is built around this, and now that's a completely different change to have to go back into the office.
See, for me, it's like,
but also you work on you're working on something that
it's a group project.
It's a group project.
You gotta be in the same room.
Communication is so important, and it's like, I get both sides. I see.
That's always kind of my thought process on it too, where it's just like, look, like I get it. Like during the pandemic, they sent everybody home, and they did this work from home, remote work stuff, right? And it's like, I think that there's a place for it in the games industry, maybe some hybrid. Mm-hmm. But like, and like I understand, well, at that point it's like, well, some people moved, some people did this, some people did this. I just think that games are such a collaborative effort. Like, I actually push back on the argument that like, I don't know if, can some do it well? Sure. I don't think that remote gameplay development is the way to go. Like, I just don't think so. Like, I don't know if I agree with that. Like, I think, like you said, it's a collaborative effort.
And, like, we don't make games, but I would just assume that, like, with any group project, it really helps to be in person with someone. Like, I don't know, especially on something as big as this game. And if Ubisoft's whole goal is to, like, hey, we're in a hole we need to get out of, we need you guys back here. Like, communication is failing at somewhere at some point.
Right.
We just need you back. So,
yeah. I don't know. Well, I guess we'll find out in a few weeks if they go on that strike. Here's some context on the Assassin's Creed Shadows delay. Last week at Ubisoft. This came out today, by the way. So this is the latest news that we have on this story. Ubisoft announced that Assassin's Creed Shadows would be delayed from its intended November release date to February 2025. While the announcement of somewhat of a shock publicly, internally, it was expected and desperately needed. Ubisoft announced that the game was delayed to polish and refine the experience. In its earnings update, the company further claimed that the delay was due to the learning from the Star Wars Outlaws release. Both claims are true, but beyond a few short words internally, the developers have been pushing for a delay for the best part of a few months, which had fallen on deaf ears until the release of Outlaws. Yves Guillemot pointed out in an internal memo that Star Wars Outlaws' initial sales proved softer than expected. When Guillemot pointing out that the critics rated the game 76 out of 100. Although I wasn't given the figure on what Ubisoft anticipated, Outlaws to sell within its first month, the game has just surpassed 1 million units, which we talked about. Its performance has seemingly caused alarm bells to ring at Ubisoft headquarters, which not only led to the approval of Assassin's Creed Shadows being delayed to Q1 2025, but to finally putting games back on Steam, a request that every Ubisoft team has been pushing for years. So why was Shadows... Well, actually, hold on. I'm going to pause right there. So that paragraph, what we just read, is exactly why Yves Guillemot needs to go. This man is straight up not listening to his development teams. The developers are begging them to delay Assassin's Creed Shadows. Like, hey, this game is not going to be good when we put it out. We need to delay it. Nah, whatever. Just finish your game. Yeah. And Star Wars underperforms, and he's like, oh shit, maybe we should.
Yeah.
And then
I feel like that's a story that comes across with every publisher and developer.
And then if you have your developers begging you to put the game on Steam, game's on Steam, and you're just not doing it for some sort of pride reason of we need to push Ubisoft Connect or whatever the reason is. It's just all right, yeah. For me, that's why Yves Guillemot needs to go. That paragraph right there is all you need to know for me. Dude's not doing a good job running his company.
So how do you think they got the delay and the day one on Steam?
Star Wars Outlaws. I think it just underperformed, and you're looking at it just sold 1 million copies, and like Insider Gaming says, they don't know what the expectation was. But if you told me, okay, Ubisoft is making an open world Star Wars game that's going to be an original story, so set in a time period, and they throw in some familiar characters, your Jabba, your Lando, and probably other cameos. You can go to Tatooine, and you can go to Luke Skywalker's the homestead, whatever. You tell me all these things on paper, and I'm like, this game is moving units. I would predict this to be a big seller for Ubisoft, and the fact that it wasn't, even that, that's such a wake up call for them, where they're just oh shit, okay, yeah, we need to delay this game, and make these changes. But anyways, continuing on. So why was Shadows delayed? It's a complicated question without a single answer. But it boils down to a strict development timeline, polishing and addressing the Japanese community's cultural and historical accuracy concerns. Okay.
They're just going to remove the black guy.
So people were... So here's the thing. First, let me address some of the wild rumors about Yasuke, or Yasuke. He is not going to be removed.
That's funny.
However, the sources have said that the team has been actively addressing many of the historical and cultural concerns, which started before the game's reveal, following external playtests, and were accelerated further following the game's initial reveal and mass feedback. This includes changing some of Yasuke's story and how he's portrayed in the game, fixing architectural details, and ensuring the game is historically grounded while fitting in the Assassin's Creed universe. So I'm going to stop right here, right? And this may, it might be a hot take, it might not be. I think that Ubisoft catering to these weirdos, I can't agree with it. Because I just think, and Ty has said this many times, and I agree with him completely, I just think people are just looking for something to be offended about and be upset about. Assassin's Creed, anyone that's actually played the Assassin's Creed games has loaded up every single game since 2007 when the first one fucking came out. And the first screen you're greeted with is, this is a work of fiction made in an historical backdrop. Like, it is a work of fiction made by a team comprised of many nationalities, many religious beliefs. Mm-hmm. Like, you fucking fist fight the fucking Pope in this series. Yeah. There's aliens and there's fucking the end of the world. Like, there's so much shit in this game. And finally, we officially found the line for people. It's a black dude. It's a black dude. It's a black dude in Japan.
Yeah.
That was the line for people. And I think people just getting upset about it is just like, dude. I get it. Assassin's Creed doesn't always, to the letter fit history.
No.
But it's not supposed to.
No.
Assassin's Creed Origins, you fight a giant fucking snake. You fight, you go to I forget what it's called, but hell or whatever, or heaven, the afterlife.
Yeah.
In Assassin's Creed Valhalla, you literally go to fucking Valhalla. You die and go to Valhalla. Yeah. But all of a sudden, there's oh, wait, it's a black guy? Wait a second.
She was in Japan. People in Japan know this.
Yeah, it's established that this person existed in Japan.
Yeah.
Is there conflicting reports about whether his status was what the game may portray it? Sure, but again, it's historical fiction.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Leonardo da Vinci didn't help someone.
What do you mean?
With wrist blades.
Wait, what?
Murder people from atop a rooftop.
What are you talking about?
But
no, he definitely did.
You sure?
Why would you say something like that? We're live. It's stupid. It's just ridiculous.
Nikola Tesla. It's stupid.
Fundamentally, so Ty says there's so much crying over this. These people don't even care.
Yeah.
They just want something to fight about. First it was Dragon Age, then Ghost of Yotei, which we'll get to that. But people are mad about that too. Did you hear about that? Yeah. They're mad that the protagonist is a female. Yeah. And I'm just I'm so fucking sick of these geeks and these dorks on the fucking internet who wouldn't dare talk this way in real life.
I'm getting mad.
Could you I always my thing is could you imagine these people? Do you think they would ever admit to their loved ones that they are the way they are?
No.
It's would you they walk up to their significant other if they even have one, or their neighbors or their coworkers or their parents, and they're just yeah, I go on the internet and complain about video games being racist because there's a black dude in feudal Japan. If one of my loved ones said that to me, I would just kind of close the door on them. Yeah. It's you know what? Maybe it's time to not talk to you anymore. That's a bit weird. You should probably go touch grass. Just completely honest with you. So that's the first thing. Fundamentally, though, these are issues that should have been caught internally before the game's reveal. Especially given Ubisoft's strict asset approval process. As far as how these issues fell through the cracks, Insider Gaming is told that historical experts were brought onto the project much later than usual for a project of this magnitude, and miscommunication between teams and cutting corners when it came to the approval process of assets to meet deadlines were also at play. And again, look, I can understand if they were going for more historical accuracies, then I understand. I'm okay with some of it, where it's just okay, well, that's not historically accurate. My thing that gets me tied up is people that were upset about Yasuke specifically. I just think it's fucking absurd. But I would also be interested to know specifically more about that process. As for the game's polish and issues with bugs, it's pretty self-explanatory. The game is currently not at the stage it needs to be for release. And Insider Gaming was told that there have been tweaks to some gameplay and mechanics and elements that are going to take time to incorporate. While some of these issues were highlighted in recent playtests and mock reviews, these are end-of-development issues that will take a little longer. Of course, these are not new issues for the team. 7 developers working on the project said that they have been pushing for a delay for some time, and their situation had even been heard at other studios in the company. Ultimately, though, the delay comes down to a strict development timeline and the need to address issues caused by a set timeline. As for why Ubisoft HQ continues to ignore the developers on almost every level, Ubisoft executive and committee and board of directors will decide in their review. Although 80% of 40 Ubisoft developers think this ends in no changes or layoffs. So the workers in the company are just nothing's going to change. Yeah. It just sucks. That's another story for another time, though. So that's pretty much news on that. Ty says, imagine if Kill Bill Volume 2 came out right now. it would be called Woke Girl Boss Trash before these gremlins even gave it a chance. Yeah. Let's see. So, that's, I think that's it for... Oh, and then, okay, so we're going to end with some information on an unreleased or unrevealed Assassin's Creed game that we've talked about before, which is Invictus. It's one of the many projects in the Assassin's Creed franchise being worked on at Ubisoft out of this pipeline that we were just talking about. And while many have wondered exactly what this new game will be, new claims have revealed that Assassin's Creed Invictus will be a Fall Guys-like game, along with details about what it will entail. Now, to be fair, or to be clear, before we continue, the author of this article did come out and say it won't be Fall Guys, but it'll be the idea of Fall Guys, of like making it round-based and like making it to each round to get to the end and be like the winner.
I got it.
He like reiterated, like it's a metaphor. It's not actually going to be Fall Guys. But first reported by online leaker X Jonathan, Assassin's Creed Invictus is a multiplayer game which players will compete in multiple rounds of games. These games will feature a team deathmatch, free-for-all, and a speed game where you have to go to luminous points scattered on the map. As you move through the rounds, players will have the option to select different powers, create a build of sorts, or for use in the game. All the gameplay will be very arcade, and even elements like a bubble shield similar to Smash Brothers might be in it, or will be in it. Other details include a fairly distant camera and maps being select areas from the past of Assassin's Creed games. Lastly, there are 2 confirmed characters, Cesare Borgia and Ezio. So they listened. They were like, put Ezio in this game. I'm down to try this. It sounds fun. We'll see what happens. It's something different. So, all right. I think we're done with the Ubisoft news. Any follow-up thoughts before we move on?
No. Hopefully, no. I still have hope for Assassin's Creed.
I do as well.
It comes out good.
Yeah.
See you next year.
See you next year. All right. Let's move on to number 2. Xbox had a Tokyo Game Show showcase. What was shown? Well, let's dive right into our recap and impressions. So first off, we saw a new trailer for Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater. I thought this was a really good trailer. Yeah, I'm really excited for this remake. Can't wait. Any thoughts on this? Or
no? Okay, looks good. Yeah.
Have you played the Metal Gear series?
No.
That's why. Okay.
I wanted to at least play 5. I heard 5 is great.
5's really good. I really like 5. I think it's got a lot of padding though. It's one of those games where it's like, don't complete this game.
Okay.
I didn't complete it. I gave up on it. I was just like, this is not, like, got to the point where I was just doing the same thing over and over again. I was like, no thanks.
Gotcha.
After that, they showed Overwatch 2 My Hero Academia crossover with some skins. It's a new event dropping on October 17th.
It looked really good. Like, I know you don't care about the anime, but I mean, the anime and these outfits they're one-to-one. Like, they're amazing. Hey,
brand synergy is important, you know? You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
It's gonna be players can, from October 17th to 28th, players can step into the shoes of their favorite anime heroes and villains with exclusive legendary skins. It's a limited time event featuring iconic characters, with Tracer embodying the determined Deku, Juno as the optimistic Uraka? I haven't watched the show, admittedly. I'm not gonna lie. And Reinhardt as the mighty All Might, squaring off against villains like Kirkio as the sinister Toga and the Reaper as the ruthless Shigaraki. Cool. Then they showed off some first-party stuff. Age of Mythology Retold Immortal Pillars will be the first expansion for this game that just came out. The new expansion brings the rich myths and grandeur of ancient China to life, introducing a brand new pantheon of gods, mythological units, divine powers, and an immersive campaign inspired by Chinese mythology. In Immortal Pillars, players can earn the favor of 12 new gods. Fans can now add the expansion to their wish list as well. And then, I don't think it's in the article, but Phil then kind of started talking about how Xbox was doing in Asia, and he made a really interesting stat point that I don't know if you saw this. We watched the showcase, so you probably heard him say this. He said that there are more Xbox console players in Asia than ever.
Yeah.
Or in Japan. I forget if he said Japan or Asia.
Yeah.
I thought that was a really impressive stat, actually.
I think they said that. I think that's actually been for a while.
Well,
the Series S was like the best-selling Xbox console in Japan.
Yeah. So they saw that they were doing.
But it's like
really well.
he's acknowledging it, and he's like, "Hey, we have a lot of people in Japan playing our games.
Yeah.
Let's." work more with Japan.
You know what's really funny? So I watched this at 6 in the morning because I was on my way to work, and I just realized that Phil Spencer totally had the StarCraft shirt on, and I should have picked up on that.
Oh yeah.
Because the next announcement was fucking, for me, like huge. Like finally, like more Activision Blizzard stuff coming to Game Pass. He announced that StarCraft Remastered and StarCraft 2 are coming to PC Game Pass. We're just going to pull up another little thing got for that. StarCraft, greetings, Commanders. We're so excited that Game Pass members will soon be joining us in the Korpulu sector. While the entirety of the original StarCraft and StarCraft 2's multiplayer components are free to play, we're delighted to say that StarCraft Remastered and StarCraft 2 Campaign Collection will be available to anyone with a PC Game Pass or Game Pass Ultimate subscription starting November 5th. In this genre-defining sci-fi series, players engage in an epic war across the stars in the 25th century, featuring 3 different factions, the human Terrans, bug-like Zerg, and the technologically advanced Protoss. The game set each species against each other for the fate of Korpulu sector. Ever since StarCraft first launched in 1998, expanded with StarCraft 2 in 2010, the series has left an indelible mark on the real-time strategy genre, esports, and the rise of live streaming, and continues to enthrall a very active and passionate community that is always looking to welcome new members into their ranks. So, while we wait for November 5th to roll around, and then they take a look at just StarCraft's indelible mark on pop culture, how in 1999 NASA astronaut Daniel Barry got to choose to bring a personal item with him to space, and he chose StarCraft, his copy of StarCraft.
Yeah.
It talks about Twitch and how like it was very big when Twitch first launched. This is just, for me, this is such a huge announcement. It's great to see Activision Blizzard finally getting their shit together and getting some more games on Game Pass. It's like there's no reason why these games aren't there, and now they're going to be there. And I've played StarCraft 2, like parts of the campaign, and I would love to play this. So I'm very excited for this. Ty says, I don't mean... hold on. He says, this gen is coming to a close for Xbox, and I can pretty much say from a Japanese perspective, it's been utterly trashed. 360 literally had exclusive Japanese games like Blue Dragon Lost Odyssey. Yeah, but it's doing better than it ever has.
But we thought it was going to do better at the beginning of this generation when they started bringing like ports in. Like I was like, oh okay, like maybe this is their foot in. And then you had like they had Japanese studios at one point. And
Ty says, I don't even mean sequels per se. I mean remakes, re-releases. Like yeah, they got closer to Japanese partners, but it surely needs more than that. Like no Japan exclusive games apart from Hi-Fi Rush. Yeah, I definitely get your point there. They don't have any Japanese developers now because they closed down Tango.
yeah.
Or sold it, I guess, technically now is the correct terminology. After that, we saw Tanuki Pond Summer take on the role of an adorable BMXing male raccoon dog in Tanuki Pond's Summer, coming to Xbox Series, Xbox One, PC. Cozy adventure perfect for the whole family, featuring a delightful mix of lovable characters, fun and unique activities, all set in a charming world.
Yeah, it looks cute.
Something about this showcase, as we go through it, this is one I would refer to as a Rome-ass showcase. Because I didn't mention it, but they did show off a new trailer. Well, the article doesn't mention it. They showed off a new trailer for Indiana Jones as well. I don't know why they didn't mention that in this, because it was a whole new trailer, I think. But, like, games like this, like it's just, I'm so excited. A lot of turn-based RPGs coming.
This one in particular looks
so good. Threads of Time. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I just want to say, I'll let you do this one first. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Because the game, I think the second game in this series is called Threads of Fate, and that was a game I played a lot of when I was younger. I had PS1,
really?
and it was one of those games where I stumbled onto progress because I was like 12 years old and didn't know what was going on.
Right.
And so, like, this game looks gorgeous, and if they could remake that one too, that's like something I'd be interested in. I'd have to find a way to play.
Threads of Time is a beautiful 2.5D JRPG inspired by the genre's classics. Guided by the Watcher of Time, you'll journey through different time periods from prehistoric lands filled with dinosaurs to a far future world dominated by advanced technology and beyond. The first look reveals Threads of Time as a charming party-based time-traveling adventure showcasing cinematic turn-based combo-driven combat. They made this for me.
This is the best looking game, I think, this whole show.
I love this game.
Yeah.
I'm so in love with it, and I'm, very happy that it's coming out. After that, we saw We Love Katamari Reroll Royal Reverie, which came to Game Pass the day of the showcase. It's a Katamari game. Good fun. We saw a trailer for Metaphor ReFantasio from the Persona makers. The game's coming out October 11th. This also looks really good. I'm excited for it. Ulterior.
Oh, we skipped Fragpunk.
Oh wow, why is that not in this article either? Wow. Yeah, Fragpunk looks dope.
That looks so cool,
dude. So they show this trailer, and like, again, it's not a genre that speaks to me, but like, my God, it just seems so freaking cool.
I don't think it's a. Is it a hero shooter?
I don't know, but like the
cards,
like being special abilities, I'm just really down to play
everyone
this.
Everyone has the same abilities. You just have to draw that ability and like, play it out. And that I don't know. It looks awesome.
No, yeah, I'm super down to it.
It just looks like pure fun, just fun. Straight up
it just
fun.
looks exactly. It just looks fun.
Yeah. Doesn't take itself seriously in the gameplay, which is awesome.
Yeah. Atelier Yumiya, The Alchemist of Memories in the Envisioned Land, is the first game in the beloved RPG series to come to Xbox. I just wanted to catch some of this. Oh. Yeah, okay. This was what I remember. Yeah, this looked great too. Mm-hmm. Again, a lot of great looking games. Next up, they showed Bleach: Rebirth of Souls. I'm not really a Bleach fan.
I love Bleach.
You want to talk about it?
It looks great. It looks like images straight from the show they put in the thing. And I won't take any Bleach slander from Ty. Like, I will let you kick him out. Yeah, Ty's a weirdo who doesn't like Bleach.
Ty, do you have anything to say about this?
No, he doesn't, because he'll get timed out.
Okay, well, I guess we're going to move on. We also saw Synduality: Echo of Ada coming to Xbox Series in January 2025. In this sci-fi PvPvE extraction shooter, you and your AI partner must survive the surface by gathering resources to thrive in a harsh world. Looks pretty decent. Fallout 76 is getting pets. You get dogs and cats. That's exciting. Suikoden Remastered. Again, another turn-based RPG. Remakes or remasters, re-releases, whatever you want to call them. Kind of what Ty said. Like, hey, like here's these old games coming out.
I played a Suikoden game on the 3DS start to finish, and I don't remember which one, and it was great.
Yeah, I really want to play those. Again, like I'm really down for all these turn-based RPGs. Give me more. All You Need Is Help is on Xbox Game Pass.
This game looks fun, and I don't know when I'll ever be able to play it with 4 people, but
yeah, All You Need Is Help is a co-op puzzle game designed to be played with your friends, and it's out today on Game Pass. 4-player co-op supports both local and online, allowing players to connect regardless of their console. Thank you. Got a trailer for Slitterhead, which I'm like really curious about Slitterhead. I don't know if I will like Slitterhead, but it's something about it that's it's very intriguing.
Very weird.
Very weird, but very intriguing for me. I'm just like, I kind of want to play it, but like I don't know if I will. It's coming out in November, so it's like it's a really rough time because there's just so many other things coming out.
It's also, that's the creator of, was it the Silent Hill games?
I believe so. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that looks great. It's got like a possession system.
Second trailer I've seen, and I have no idea what this game is.
I think there's a little bit more idea. So basically, you hop from body to body or human to human, whatever, and then like you have to fight monsters.
Yeah, I mean, I got that part. And that's
like, see, like, look, he's fighting these weird penis-looking things, and he's like jumping from human to human.
These giant bugs.
And now he's got like his
giant
own
praying mantis.
He's just like he's just fucking ninja starring blood vessels. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like one of those weird Japanese games, you know. It's where it's like it's gonna be cool and weird. Next up, we saw another game that I really loved, The Star Bites. That's a sci-fi turn-based RPG. I know, shocker. Another turn-based RPG. Rome loves it. I know. Great. Set on a deserted planet of Bitter, where the remnants of spaceships from past space wars litter the landscape. Players follow the story of Lukita, a debris collector who scavenges the wreckage to pay off his debts.
This had a really cool art style.
It really did. The combat system in Star Bites offers a unique blend of traditional turn-based strategy and innovative mechanics. I love it. This looks great. Give me more. Just keep giving me these games. I want them. We got to look at Dragon Quest 3 HD and 2D. Or 3... Okay, yeah, sorry. Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D Remake, which, based off the canon of the series, you need to play 3 and then 1 and then 2. Which is why 1 and 2 are getting remade, but they're coming out next year.
Okay.
This is another one very excited for. Very excited for Dragon Quest 3 HD.
Now, what are the chances of you actually playing... I guess we'll finish first, because I want to know which ones you have like the high chance of playing of these games.
And then lastly, we got announcements of the beginning of what I want. We got the Final Fantasy Pixel remakes, which is Final Fantasy 1 through 6 on Xbox, shadow dropped the day of the showcase. And then we also got Game Pass announcements of Trials of Mana and Legends of Mana on Game Pass today as well. And that kind of ended the showcase. And I love this showcase. Like, look, it's not like the flashiest, like, oh my god, Xbox Summer Showcase, but like for me, like it's such a like it's what I want to see Xbox do outside of their first party output. Like this and the Xbox Showcase from June, those two showcases come together for me to form like if all these games are coming to Xbox, then I'm very happy to be remaining on the Xbox ecosystem. Like, these are the games I want to play, and Xbox is bringing them to me on my Xbox. And at the end of the day, that's what these showcases are supposed to do. It's supposed to make me excited to play games on my Xbox, and guess what? They did that. So, like, if you asked me to, like, give this, like, an unbiased review score, I mean, there wasn't, like, a lot of surprises. Like, we knew the Final Fantasy Pixel remakes are coming. I guess the Mana games are kind of surprising. Like, it's a solid, like, 7, I think. But, like, for me, on a personal level, like, this was a 10. I was just, like, I was watching at 6 in the morning at work, rubbing fucking sand out of my eyes, and I'm like, Starbites looks fucking incredible. Threads of Time looks incredible. The bigger games like Fantasia and Suikoden Remastered, and, like, I'm just so down for these. Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D is a one that, like, you asked me, like, what's the definites, right? For me, I'm going to get the Final Fantasy Pixel remakes. I'm going to get Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D. And then Starbites and Threads of Time are, like, that's my big
Threads
four.
of Time is on Game Pass, right? I don't know.
They didn't announce it for Game Pass.
Okay.
I don't know if they announced it for Game Pass or not. But regardless, those games all look great.
Yeah.
Now, the Mana games come to Game Pass. The Mana games are games I've wanted to play for a long time, then be on Game Pass. That's great for me. If I have the chance, I will play those.
I think for me, the only thing I'm probably going to jump into when it happens is StarCraft. I think
StarCraft as well. Yeah, I forgot about StarCraft. That's so dope. I'm so excited. I love RTSs. I'm dog shit at them, but I love RTSs.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably play StarCraft when it comes to PC Game Pass.
So yeah, that was a solid, really, really solid showcase from Xbox. Now there was also a state of play. God, we're gonna run out of time tonight. There's just so much going on. I'm gonna run through this kind of quickly because the first two topics took up a lot of time. So Astrobot got DLC announcement coming out this fall. PlayStation Blog did not put this in order, so I guess we're just gonna do it.
Oh man, because
I thought they did.
I have it here. I have the thing up, and the first game that they show looks like that Tim Burton-esque.
Yeah, let me see if I go down to the bottom. Will it be like reverse? I don't think so. No. Okay, so we're just gonna run through it. Sorry, Dev, if you don't want to follow along, that's
I think we
fine.
should. I think we should go through this.
No, I'm going to go through this, but I'm saying I know you have it lined up in a different order. Maybe I don't know.
The Midnight Walk is what it's called.
Yeah. We'll get to it. So they announced Ghost of Yotei, which is a sequel / the next game in the Ghost of Tsushima franchise. This game looks great. It looks amazing. People are being weird. They're mad that the female or the protagonist is female. Touch grass. That's all I'm going to say about that. Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered was officially announced, and it comes out October 31st on PS5 and PC. I loved Horizon Zero Dawn, and it's getting a remaster. If you have the PS4 version for $9.99, you can upgrade to the PS5 to this remaster. Quick sidebar: PlayStation has, for no reason really, doubled the price of Horizon Zero Dawn after remaster announcement. The game was priced at $20, and now, I'm not sure why they did this, but now it's $40. Have you any idea why they took the PS4 version of this game and doubled the price?
I have no idea.
No idea? Anyways, the PS4 version, you can pay $10 and get the PS5 version. I don't like that, personally. I don't like that.
I don't think anyone likes it.
Yeah, no, but it's kind of gross. It's kind of gross. It's like that's kind of gross. Just let people buy the game for $20 and then pay $10, and you're making $30. Like, what's the problem here? I don't get it. Anyways, let's go back. Lego Horizon Adventures was shown off. Looks fun. Coming to PS5 and Switch on November 14th. They showed off the PS5 Pro. I still don't get it. Like, I get it, but I don't get it. Like, it's like whatever. They showed off the Chrome collection, so you can get different colored PS5 consoles. They showed off their PlayStation Plus monthly games, which I was kind of surprised that they did that at the showcase. Like, I think it's the most attention they've ever given PlayStation Plus. Yeah. We saw Alan Wake 2 expansion, The Lake House, which seemed to have some Control tie-in, which it comes with the deluxe version of Alan Wake 2, which I have pre-ordered because I stood my ground. I was like, no physical, no purchase. And I won. You don't have to like it, but I won.
I don't care.
I'm getting the physical. I waited. Instead of like caving and going digital, like, I'm going to get the game. It's going to come with all this dope-ass expansion that they keep showing.
Wish I could have gameplay of it.
I'm sorry, Dev. Blame the PlayStation blog. They went out of order.
Why'd you use the PlayStation blog?
It's the PlayStation blog. It's literally their official PlayStation.
Yeah, why'd you use that one?
You're right. I don't know why I chose the PlayStation product. You're right, Dev.
Should have used TGS or used
I wasn't even gonna talk about how wrong you were about the Xbox TGS showcase. Like, Devro is wrong.
What was I wrong?
If Devro was wrong was a showcase,
wait, why was I wrong?
Well, because you said that like Xbox hates Japan and Xbox gamers don't want JRPGs. Clearly, they want them because they have them coming to the Xbox.
Yeah,
you're just wrong.
We heard
Anyways,
that.
We're gonna move on. We don't have the time.
Series X,
we don't
right?
have the time.
You're just repeating yourself over and over and over again.
Arch-Age Chronicles was featured as well. We saw Dragon
Tango.
Deborah, I'm trying to do this pod. Come on, man.
Yeah, I'm trying to do it too, but you
Deborah, we don't have time. It's 9:20.
Shows a shitty blog.
Oh my god.
And now I can't even have gameplay up for these games.
Are you done? Are you done?
No, I'm still searching for it.
Alright, let me know when you're done. I have nothing to say, so I'm just going to keep going. Dragon Age the Veilguard. I've never been into Dragon Age. This game does nothing for me. I mean, some people seem excited. I just don't have any interest. I don't know why. I just don't. Dynasty Warriors Origins was shown off as well. This is, again, a franchise that, like, I enjoy some of them, but don't really get hyped for them. Fantasian Neo Dimension was announced. This game looks really good. We saw Fear the Spotlight from Blumhouse Games. Love Fear the Spotlight. That game looks incredible. Coming out this month, October 22nd. Fortnite's getting a controller. Hell Is Us looked really cool as well. This was shown off kind of early in the showcase, and it was one of my favorite games shown for a while. Do you have anything to talk about? Anything? I'm just kind of running through.
I don't remember any of the stuff anyway.
Yeah.
If there was gameplay up, I'd be able to remember it.
I'm sorry. It's not my fault. Hitman World of Assassination for PSVR 2. Can't believe it. PSVR 2 sighting. Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver 1 and 2 Remastered was announced. Lunar Remastered Collection. This was something I was really excited of. This is a really well-known old JRPG series coming to Xbox as well. Some of these, about 9 or 10 of these announcements I know come to Xbox too. But we saw Metro Awakening VR. Again, kind of surprising to see PlayStation put out games for their VR headset, to be honest with you. Monster Hunter Wilds got a trailer again. I just don't have interest in Monster Hunter. It's not my thing. Power World Shadow dropped on PlayStation the day of the show State of Play. We have a story about that we'll get to later. We saw a Stellar Blade Nier Automata crossover. And then we got the Midnight Walk. You want to play the Midnight Walk trailer now?
No.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I won't use the PlayStation blog ever again.
Yeah, I don't know why you did. You did it on purpose.
No, okay. So can I tell you why?
Let's take an hour to talk about Xbox, and then let's just fly through the PlayStation State of Play.
Because the first two topics took an hour. I have fucking
10 minutes.
We have 20 fucking things on the list. What do you want me to do? You want me to slow down? I'll slow down.
But no worry, he's not biased at all. We're not biased over here.
I'm really not trying to be biased right now. You're making fun of me, and I'm really not trying to do that.
Anyway, was it Zelda Echoes Wisdom review?
No, hold on. Let's go back up because you're upset.
No, it's fine.
No, it's fine.
I don't care anymore.
Oh, it's fine.
I'm gonna play Zelda Echoes gameplay.
No. I want to talk about the Ghost of Yotei because this game looks phenomenal.
It does.
I can't even play the trailer. PlayStation's making me put my age in.
Yeah, you're not even old enough to watch the trailer. This is bullshit.
All right, so behind the scenes stuff. I'm being completely honest with you. Can I tell you why I chose this one? So I typed in State of Play recap. or everything announced in State of Play, right? So I load up the PlayStation blog. It says everything revealed in State of Play September 2024. Yeah. I scroll down, and the first thing was Astro Bot. I was like, oh, that was the first thing announced. Clearly, this is going to be in order. I'll take ownership of the fact that I stopped at that point. If I had scrolled down further, it would have been Ghost of Yotei. No, so what do you want to talk about? I'm not trying to slow.
We can talk about Yotei and then move on.
Well, what do you want? Well, what else do you want to talk about?
Yotei was kind of the big in this of the show.
Yeah. It just looks really cool. Ghost of Tsushima is on my backlog, so I really want to get to that. But yeah, I thought this game looks really good. Sucker Punch is such an amazing developer.
I want you to play it before Assassin's Creed. Now you have time, just so that you can compare it. Like,
maybe, I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna have time. We'll have to see.
Yeah.
Because truth be told, I want to get the PS5 version. I have the PS4 version, but I'd like to get the PS5 version.
It doesn't like up-res or anything like that when you put it in PS5.
I think maybe I can buy the upgrade. I don't know if they do that for the PS5 one. I don't know. I'd have to look into it. All right, let me try and slow down a little bit. Lake House expansion was something else that really excited me for this. I'm really excited to play Alan Wake 2. And I know you like Control a lot. That was a really cool looking expansion. Like I said, Fear the Spotlight coming from Blumhouse Games was another one. Very excited about. I'm probably going to end up playing on my Xbox, though. But yeah, that's a game that's definitely been on my radar. I'm really excited to see Blumhouse Games put these games out. Hell Is Us was another game that looked really good. I don't know if this one's coming to Xbox or not, but like it looked really good for the play. You know, can't wait to play it on the PS5. Lunar, that was another one. Really digging the JRPGs that I got coming my way now, so that was exciting. Metro, even though I'm not gonna buy a PSVR 2 at this point, I thought Metro looked really good. Definitely looking forward to that one. Power World's a big get for PlayStation. Keanu Reeves coming in Shadow the Hedgehog. That was good. And then...
Is he the voice of Shadow in the movies?
Yeah, he got announced as... Shadow's going to be in the third movie, and Keanu is him in
the voice. Okay.
Yeah, so it's a movie tie-in. And then the last game shown was Towers of Agasba. I actually don't remember this one. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't remember this one. Huh.
No, Yahweh was the last... what was it?
No, I know, but I'm saying in terms of what the PlayStation blog gave me. PlayStation blog did these guys dirty. They put them all the way at the bottom. They're just like, yeah, fuck these guys. TMNT, who cares about them? Losers. Anyways, I did think it was a good showcase, actually. I was actually kind of surprised because a lot of the internet's reception was, like, kind of negative.
Really?
Yeah, and I kind of came, like, not even the weirdos. Like Jeff Keighley did a poll, I think. Someone did a poll, was like, how would you grade the State of Play? And it was like D. And I was like, I don't think it's a D showcase at all. No. I think it's like a B.
What were they upset about?
I didn't read the comments, admittedly. I just heard a lot of people saying it wasn't very good. I don't agree with that sentiment. I thought it was a good showcase.
The only thing I saw was no Bloodborne 2, or no Bloodborne remake, but that's kind of like a meme at this point.
Yeah, I don't think it's happening. I think people should probably move on from that. But I think Ghost of Yotei was great. That's my big first-party takeaway, is that Ghost of Yotei looks great. Like, I understand people being upset about, like, more remasters, Horizon Zero Dawn, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
People are going to buy it, so they're not going to stop. Number 4, Zelda Echoes of Wisdom review roundup. Going to kind of speed through this one as well. Generally, the game came out to an 85 on Metacritic at the time of the writing of this article from Forbes. Dextero gave it a 10 out of 10. It says, While Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom successfully brought exciting new concepts to Nintendo's iconic series and helped to revolutionize open-world games, Echoes of Wisdom feels like a big step forward for classic Zelda. IGN gave it a 9. Washington Post gave it an 8.8 out of 10 or an 80 out of 100. VGC gave it a 6 out of 10. It was one of the lower reviews. It says, despite some ambitious ideas beneath the surface, Echoes of Wisdom is surprisingly uneven Zelda adventure. Few of its headline mechanics are utilized in their potential, which means that while enjoyable and charming, it ultimately feels less essential than other modern 2D entries. I have Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. I have not played it yet. Probably going to start it this week.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to playing it. Maybe I'll have some more thoughts to give then. Are you picking this up?
Yeah, I want to finish Pikmin first.
Gotcha. How far along are you on that?
Pretty far, but I got some more to go.
Okay.
but this will be the next game that I get.
Yeah. Number 5, Starfield's Shattered Space expansion comes out. Well, it came out yesterday. I had today because we were supposed to do this yesterday.
Yeah.
But it came out yesterday. Don't have a lot to say about this. Here's the thing. Octopath Traveler ruined everything. Because I was supposed to be done Octopath Traveler at the beginning of September. And then it got pushed back. And now I'm stuck on the last boss. Can't beat it. I don't know. I'm going to move on to something else and maybe come back. But, so I didn't get to do my run of Starfield. So that's probably getting pushed to next year.
Are you going to finish Wonder before you start Zelda?
I finished Wonder.
Okay, you finished Wonder.
Yeah, I finished Wonder. Just because I was stuck on Octopath. So I finished Wonder to get it out of the way. And then I'll probably do something Zelda. I'll probably do Zelda next, to be honest. But not 100% set in stone. So, yeah. This is going to be a handcrafted planet, handcrafted world for you to explore. Much more focused adventure. Todd Howard said this is going to be like similar to Fallout 4's Far Harbor expansion. So, a lot going on there to be excited about. My Starfield run, we'll have to wait till next year. I just know now, like, there's no way I'm playing Starfield this year. Like, maybe December, but we'll see. I don't know.
Okay.
It's going to be a January game, to be honest. That's kind of probably when it happens. Next up, here's a big story for you, Dev. I hope you didn't see it before we did this.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Oh, I'm sorry. Rocksteady is working on a new Batman game, it's rumored, according to leaker and rumor monger Special Nick. He understands that Rocksteady is in fact working on a new Batman game. On top of that, he thinks Sony is trying to make a play for exclusivity in some way. Hate that. But, not sure which studio People's Dreams is, but I heard Rocksteady are back making it, he said in a response to a tweet asking for fans' dream developers for the next Batman. I also think Sony are trying to money hat it, LOL. No other information at this time, just that he's heard that they're working on a Batman game.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I am too.
Please, do more of what you've done that works. Like, you can innovate, but, like,
if I have to, and I mean this, I will, like, on days where I'm off and maybe you're at work, maybe like a Saturday, I will come here and play Batman on your PS5 if I have to. Like, I'm playing this game regardless. I don't care.
Just buy a PS5. That's
why
they do it. That's why they do it.
I'm not buying a $700 PS5 Pro to play this game. Arkham Knight is probably my number one favorite game.
Arkham Knight, really?
Yeah, I love that game so much.
More than Asylum and City?
Oh, absolutely. I
think that's surprising. I didn't know that.
I like the games in order of when they came out. Like,
well, Origins came out after Night. So you like Origins the most?
No, Night came out last.
Origins.
Origins came out between Night and City.
I'm pretty
sure.
I don't know how true that is.
Origins wasn't the last game.
Oh, you know what? No, you're right. Origins, because Origins was a 360 game. Arkham Knight was an Xbox One game.
Yeah, Origins came out.
Yeah, you're right.
And, like, City and Origins are tied for me. I really like City. I really like Origins.
See, I like City the most. I think City is just so phenomenal. Like, Origins is gorgeous. It's a beautiful looking game.
Yeah, but Night is at the top. See, not even the top. It's one of my favorite games, period.
See, I don't hate Arkham Knight as much as the weirdos that hate it do. Like, oh, there's too much tank combat. Like,
oh, I loved it. I loved your Batman in the Batmobile.
I enjoyed it.
Is the best video game vehicle. Like,
yeah, that's fair.
Second, the only thing close is like Halo vehicles. It's a really close second, but like,
well, R-Wings are the coolest thing.
Huh?
R-Wing.
R-Wing, okay.
From Star Fox. That's the coolest vehicle.
It's just like, it's up there. It's to me, it's the Batmobile.
And X-Wings. R-Wings and X-Wings. Yeah, that's my Batmobile. It's like, give me a video game where I'm just flying X-Wings, I'm fucking down. That's great.
I'm watching this gameplay, and I'm like, I played the game twice, and the second time I played it on, was it Hit Plus? Hardest difficulty, got all the regular things. Like, I love this game. So, I'll play the next one, as long as it's not Gotham Knights or Suicide.
So it's not Suicide.
Yeah.
Suicide's bad.
Don't do Suicide. Please. Yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited that they're working on it.
Yeah. Next up, number 7 on the headlines for the AEW fans out there. AEW is strongly considering a new partner for future video games. Future of AEW video games currently is hanging in the balance. Multiple sources have told Insider Gaming that the decision makers at AEW are strongly considering finding a new development partner moving forward. This comes after numerous issues surrounding the game's development. AEW knows that things didn't go the way they expected with the first game, one source said. The game was over budget and it underdelivered when it came out. AEW is strongly considering moving to a new developer for their games. Fight Forever launched in June 2023. I reviewed it here on the podcast. As much as it hurts me to say it, I fucking hated it.
Yeah.
Terrible.
I was here when you don't quit games often.
No, I don't. I'm 150 hours in the Octopath, and I'm like...
Yeah, it takes a lot for a game to make you quit. You played...
You came over, and I was just like, I'm so unhappy.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so unhappy.
Once you get to that point, you gotta stop playing it and just...
Well, it's just like... It's because the problem with AEW Fight Forever, right, is that, like, the spirit of what it wants to be is so endearing. And, like, I really appreciate it, because it wants to be, like, that old No Mercy N64 wrestling game that, like, you played in your basement when you were 9, and, like, you want to love it. And I do want to love it. And it, like, my dislike of the game has nothing to do with AEW as a brand or, like, the wrestlers or the promotion.
It was gameplay.
It's just purely from a gameplay perspective. They brought Ukes in, and, like, Ukes was not prepared to make this game, clearly. And they really did themselves a disservice. They spent so much money trying to make it, and it just didn't do well. So I'm really looking forward to them, hopefully, you know, choosing a new partner. I don't want them to leave games. I want there to be a new AEW game. I love
the arcade route. I think you have the simulation wrestling with WWE. I think you think you stick with the arcade and just build off of that?
So I want to find a common ground. And what I was thinking, so obviously they try to go the arcade route with this game, which is like, again, the N64 route.
And I thought that was genius. I thought that was smart.
If I was them, I would go like more of a PS2 route. Like SmackDown Shut Your Mouth or Here Comes the Pain, where it's like kind of a little bit of both. It is arcadey, but there is some simulation going on there. And I would try to find like that best of both worlds middle ground, because like people like the simulation stuff, but people also like the more arcadey stuff. Like, so try to do both a little bit. That's what I would do.
It's tough.
It is tough, but hopefully they can figure it out, because I would very much like to see them try again with another game. Number 8 in the headlines, Blizzard Entertainment is apparently trying to make another StarCraft shooter. This is the third time they're going to be attempting to do it. It sounds really cool. Jason Schreier, who has a book about Blizzard coming out, he's been doing a bunch of podcasts, breaking a bunch of like little tidbits. And on one of them, I think it was the podcast Unlocked for IGN. Yeah, it was. He said that right now Blizzard's trying to make another StarCraft shooter, which sounds dope.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like maybe you should shadow 343 a little bit.
I was listening
in gameplay perspective. You know what I mean? Like you give them blocks to build off of and just get Starfield or StarCraft.
So I was listening to the Xbox 2 podcast, and they had a really good idea where they were like, I forget what they said, but I think they said let Blizzard make the game. What was it? I think they said let 343 make the gameplay, but have Blizzard make the lore of the game.
Oh, yeah.
Because 343 has not done a good job with the lore of Halo.
And maybe you should do something in between both Halo and Doom. You have those are your studios. Doom is
right.
An amazing.
I just want id to make Halo. Let id make Halo, please. I love it, please. Yeah. Next up, because again we are. It wasn't just the PlayStation thing. We are trying to move through this.
We're doing all right.
Yeah, no, we're working on it. That's what happens when we go a day late. So Power World, there's another follow-up about Power World. So it's shadow dropped at the State of Play. It is not available in Japan though, and that's because we didn't do a podcast last week because you were sick. But guess who got sued? Well, let me rephrase that. Guess who did the suing?
Yeah.
The old Nintendo ninjas are finally decided to come for Power World.
And they sued for copyright infringement, right? Because, the PALs, we looked at the PALs and we're like, hey, those are clearly Pokemon. They're going to get in trouble for that. So, like, Nintendo was like, hey, listen, those PALs, they look a lot like our Pokemon, and that's why they sued, right? I think that's what I heard.
No.
What are they suing on?
Gameplay patents. So have you looked into these patents that Nintendo has, like, for example?
I assume it's the surface stuff. You keep monsters in a ball. You capture monsters in a Pokeball.
Yeah, it's stuff like that, but like so it's not even, it's beyond the Power World stuff. So people are pointing out things that Nintendo has things on, patents on. So do you know that, like, say if a character in a game goes behind like cover and you can see their silhouette through the cover? You know Nintendo has a patent on that?
No, I did not know that.
They have a gameplay patent on that. There were some other ridiculous ones that I've, like, looked at, It's fucking obnoxious.
Yeah.
We can talk about how much we love Nintendo all we want, but I stand by it. Nintendo is a fucking terrible company. They are so dog shit. We give Nintendo such a pass because they make the best games.
Yeah.
But it's like, they are so fucking terrible. Like, I love them, but they're so terrible.
Nintendo's the Kanye of the video game world.
It's not good. However, follow up. This was the one headline that I wanted to carry over from last week because it was just too good. Pocket Pair, the developers of Power World, have lawyered up, and they've hired identical lawyers with guns.
Oh no!
In the wake of Nintendo officially filing a patent infringement lawsuit against them, Power World developer Pocket Pair has announced that they have hired lawyers identical to Nintendo's, but with guns. Quote, Nintendo's lawyers may be an institution in the gaming world, but our lawyers are the exact same, but with guns, which makes them better and cooler, says Pocket Pair president Hiroshi Takeshita in an official statement. The simple fact of the matter is that Nintendo's lawyers have had diminishing returns for a while now. They're the same lawyers they've been for over a decade with no meaningful changes. In some aspects, they've even gotten worse. Our lawyers, on the other hand, are fresh, new, and exciting. They have guns. Isn't that such a cool way for lawyers to innovate? With guns? What are your thoughts?
I mean, they're probably going to get sued for that, too.
Benjamin Cassidy, a gaming YouTuber with an expertise in law, was quick to weigh in on social media. Well, there is no doubt in my mind that Nintendo does have a credible case. I mean, anyone with eyes can see that many of Power World's designs are direct lifts of Pokemon, posted Cassidy to Twitter. Having said that, Pocket Pair's lawyers have guns, and that's just so cool and funny. I mean lawyers with guns. Come on! So I think there's a real chance that the court just won't care what Nintendo's lawyers have to say, since they'll be so taken aback by the comedy factor of lawyers with guns. Despite how equipping their lawyers with firearms may make them look, Takeshita assures that his company is innocent of any infringement and their lawyers will be able to defeat Nintendo's. There was no stealing taking place at all. We used AI and the prompt was clear. Make Pokemon-like creatures. So it couldn't have been stolen, and even if they were too similar, pals have guns, which make them different. And that's what our lawyers will argue, and they will argue better than Nintendo's lawyers because they have guns too. Nintendo's lawyers will not be prepared for our firepower. They have spent the last few years doing nothing but suing fans, so they won't be prepared to face lawyers that are completely identical to them, but are better because, as I said before, they have guns. At press time, Nintendo responded, claiming guns or no, they will come after Pocket Pair with the same fury they will go after 17-year-olds who make fan games.
This can't pass, right? Like, they're not going to win this lawsuit. The domino effect of them winning this lawsuit is something I don't want to see. And something that they're guilty of, too.
I don't know. It sets a dangerous precedent.
Yeah.
Do you think that the guns will have anything to do?
In Tears
Like,
of
the
the
lawyers
Kingdom-
having guns, do you think that will make a difference?
In Tears of the Kingdom, you climb a tower to reveal part of the map. Mm-hmm. And that's something that... You know the first game to do that was Assassin's Creed. It's I don't know.
Okay.
The whole mechanic, you're gonna...
Once again, thank you to harddrive.net for making that incredible article that I just read.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We gotta tell people that's not real.
Yeah, you know sold it, so I feel inclined to remind people that was
It wasn't as bad as the licking.
That was
trees
satire.
one. You should include one of those every.
You know what's really funny? So Jeff Keighley actually got into a Twitter fight with Hard Drive for that article.
Oh, that's funny.
And they were like, he was like very funny, and then like he was like, where are the receipts? And then Hard Drive responded, we kept the receipts, and showed a bunch of screenshots of all his pro PS like PlayStation bootlicking that he does. Since then, he's actually started tweeting more about Xbox, like more evenly. Okay. And I say, Hard Drive, thank you so much. If Jeff Keighley's gonna come up here and be like, I'm the Game Awards, I am for everybody, for all games, then I need to see Jeff Keighley cover games more fairly. So you know what? Thank you, Hard Drive, for being entertaining and bullying a celebrity. Is he a celebrity? He's like a D-celebrity.
I guess.
He's a gaming industry celebrity. Bullying celebrities works. Bullying companies works. Anyways, lawyers with guns. Love it. Next up, Deborah, what is this Nintendo device that was just filed with the FCC? It's not a new console.
Oh yeah, okay, go ahead.
It's a mysterious new wireless device to the FCC. It isn't the Switch 2 or Super Switch. The CL00001 model number doesn't reveal what it actually is, but it appears to be an entirely new product line given the 001 code used on devices like the Switch and the DS. It's tagged only as a wireless device, not a game console, or any kind of controller like a Joy-Con. A basic diagram within the document shows an outline of where the FCC label will be displayed in a depression area on the bottom, of something with a squarish footprint and rounded off corners. The document also shows that there's no body-worn accessory involved with the testing, and it doesn't have a battery. It can only operate plugged in. It was connected to the same USB-C charger that Nintendo ships with Switch consoles, but it only reveals it can be powered by USB-C. Surprisingly light on wireless technology. There's no Wi-Fi radio, no Bluetooth. It does sport a 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi radio and a 24 gigahertz MM wave sensor. The wave sensor is the most telling detail we have. It could be a radar sensor to track movement, like closely following gestures or detecting when somebody is nearby the device, causing it to turn on automatically, perhaps. Deborah, what the fuck is this? Here's a picture of it.
Yeah, it's a Nintendo vibrator.
It's a square.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a square. Yeah, I don't know. Mystery will surround it, I suppose. Number 11, Tony Hawk has revealed that there is a future for the franchise. He says, the original Tony Hawk Pro Skater was released 25 years ago today, the day he posted this. My intention and expectation for the game was mostly for the enjoyment of skateboarders. I had no idea it would transcend a niche market and become a massive success. As some have argued, change the course of skateboarding's popularity and possibly even skate trick evolution. It definitely changed the course of my life, and it's a big reason I get to ride my skateboard for a living to this very day. And most of the featured characters are still out there ripping and representing skateboarding's diversity in the best ways possible. Seen here is a snippet of our motion capture session during the development phase, which he has a video on his Instagram for. I poured myself into every aspect of this project because I believed we were creating something exceptional, and I am immensely proud of the series that followed, and their soundtracks. Thanks to Activision, Neversoft, rest in peace, and all of you that played THPS in those formative years. I'm not supposed to tease anything about the future of the series, but there is a future.
Okay.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Just to say, like, also he did a trick, right, and then down in circle, which I think is a Benihana. It might be a Benihana. I'm not 100% sure. It's been a long time since I played on the PlayStation version of Tony Hawk.
I mean, it's exciting. People are still waiting for that one Skate game. I forget what it's called. I think Skate, yeah. It's just called Skate.
Skate, it's like Skate 4.
And that game has looked great. So
yeah.
I think people are really hungry for a new skating game. It's been a really long time since we had a good one.
Yeah. Number 12, Silent Hill 2 is going to be a timed exclusive. PlayStation's playing for that exclusivity. It's going to be exclusive for a year. Terrible. Number 13, Xbox is merging its apps together. For those that don't know, Xbox has like 2 apps on the on mobile.
Yeah, I have both.
I have both of them as well, and they're going to be merging them. So Game Pass is going to appear on the original on the actual Xbox app, which is great. Love it. Please, thank you, appreciate it. They're also going to be doing some minor updates to the PC game bar and stuff like that in their September update. PlayStation 5 is number 14. PlayStation 5 is adding ads to its home screen that you can't turn off. Xbox has been doing this for a long time, but I guess with PlayStation not really fearing any competition, they're just probably like, fuck it, we can do it too.
Yeah.
Again, Xbox is already doing it. It is what it is. It sucks. But
it usually happens when one company gets away with something unfavorable, the other one gets.
Well, I just think PlayStation doesn't really care at this point. It's just like, well, what is Xbox going to do? They're not like competing with us, so it's like they're just going to do whatever they want. So, again, I'm not going to knock them because Xbox has been doing it for a long time, and it's like I don't like Xbox doing it either. It's shitty. I'm not a fan of it personally, but
it only takes one person to get away with it for like.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. PlayStation's also going to be using AI and machine learning to speed up game development, which I know Deborah's happy about people losing jobs. That's something that he's probably celebrating internally. And he's going to say, no, I'm not celebrating it. It sucks.
Because I've never.
It's just the way of the world, he says.
It is, though. Just like school shootings and taxes and Come on, you know this.
You ever wake up and think you're living in like a GTA parody universe?
Yeah.
Like if you look at like the real world, it's just like I feel
real.
like
This can't be real.
This can't be real. It's satire. It's such satire. Oh man. Anyways, yeah, they're using that. That's great. Again, we're getting to the end of our time here. Number 16, Backyard Baseball 97 is being re-released on Steam. Very excited. Loved playing this on my PC back in the day, my family computer.
And they're working on. So wait, this is the original.
This is the original baseball game.
Gotcha.
Which was great. You should watch the trailer of it if you have time.
I watched the trailer for the remake, not for the.
I think you have. Is this the trailer? Or is it just gameplay?
This is just gameplay of the 1997 one.
It's a fun game. I actually always really had a blast with it.
You told me you were excited for the remake to come out.
I think I got it for free out of like a box of cereal, to be honest.
That's awesome.
I never bought this game. I just had it on a disc.
That's awesome.
Yeah, back in the day, you would get free video games out of the cereal box.
You're getting Assassin's Creed in your Cheerios.
It's like, seems racist, but okay.
It's only in the chocolate Cheerios or something.
Oh, no.
Fruity Pebbles.
No. Anyways. Yeah, it's great. Alright, so Deborah, you remember the day before?
Oh, yeah, that was that great game that was not a scam at all.
Well, no, it was a scam.
Oh.
Well, guess what? The developers are back with a new Kickstarter. Oh. Bet you didn't see this coming. Says the article. The article says, bet you didn't see this coming.
No one did.
In December 2023, the day before, a long-awaited, highly anticipated survival shooter was released by Fantastic after years of development. Quickly turned out to be nothing short of a scam, with the game launching in a miserable state. Fantastic pulled it offline, shut down the studio. Now, the team is back with a studio, Fantastic 2.0. So they had their studio, Fantastic. Mm-hmm. They closed down the studio. Now they're back. Same name.
Fantastic 2.
The Squeakquel. Again, this isn't real. This can't be real.
I want them. Are there any interviews of them? Like, I want to hear them talk. Like,
so before we get started, let's highlight that this is the same developer that said shit happens on social media when their game was taken offline. In a shocking post on social media, the team returned, stating that everyone deserves a second chance. Does everyone deserve a second chance, Deborah?
I don't know about that.
They posted a link to a new game called Escape Factory and stressed that they're planning to fix their past mistakes. By past mistakes, they mean the swindling of thousands of gamers that left them a laughingstock of the gaming community. At the time of writing, the Kickstarter has made a whopping $154 out of its $11,646 goal. What a random number, points out the article. If you back their campaign with a $12,000 donation...
Jeez.
I actually didn't read this sentence before. Hold on, Deborah. If you back this game and you give the developers $12,000, what do you think they're going to give you?
A T-shirt? Like
an unforgettable dinner with the founders of Fantastic. Do you think they go to Taco Bell or something?
This has to be a joke. You're reading this from the same article.
No, it's Insider Gaming. It's real.
You're reading this from the
it's
same
real.
With all the other parodies. There's no way this is real. There's no way.
Deborah.
Listen, if you lost money for the day before, that sucks, and I'm sorry for you. If you lose money from this game, I do not feel bad for you.
$154. Someone gave this.
That's them. They put their own money in first to make it look like they're getting money. There's no way people are going to give them money for another game. There's no way.
They're saying that they need the community's help if they're going to revive Fantastic, and they even published a white paper outlining their desire to change. They've rebranded by changing the color palette of their logo, and they're now preaching honesty, transparency, and professionalism. So let's rewind. So they had their studio with a logo. They closed the studio. It's done. Dead. They come back. It's like, we're Fantastic. The Squeakquel. The sequel. Number 2. It's like in our logo.
Change some colors.
It's just a different color. They also have a new mission. Their mission is Our mission is to create games.
We're wasting time on this. Can we move on?
Our mission is to create games that will be loved for decades. Here's a spiel for their new game, too. You play as life-weary workers trying to escape the vicious cycle of deadly factories from which there's no easy way out. Legend has it that only one great and mysterious individual has ever escaped. Team up with 4 to 8 players for a pure multiplayer co-op physics-based fun challenges. If they raise $200,000, they'll make the game and bring it to all platforms. Do you trust Fantastic 2?
There's no way.
Do you trust Fantastic 2?
Fool me once. Oh, man.
It's great. Number 18, Death Stranding 2 is only 30 to 40% done. I don't even want to go any further. That's fine. We're done. That's it.
That's not even surprising, honestly.
No, it's not. That game's not coming out. Oh, yeah, no, totally.
Yeah.
Well, at least Fantastic 2 is going to have their game coming out, hopefully, soon. Hopefully. Maybe.
Something Sadness Factory?
I kind of want to have dinner with them now.
Do you have that kind of money?
No, but like I'll take a loan out and like give them $12,000. Like it's definitely going to be like you show up and it's like, all right, we're going to Taco Bell.
There's pizza already on the counter.
Yeah, it's cold pizza. Like it's going to be unforgettable. You'll never forget this.
They make
experience.
you pay for it.
It's like, hey, you have $12,000 to spend. You clearly got the money. We don't.
The money you gave us went to our game, so.
Oh man! All right, that's the game headline. That's the headlines for the week. Let's do the real quickly before we get out of here. The Game Informer Memorial game releases for the week, September 30th. Block Strategy came out on PC yesterday, the 30th. Economics PC. I wonder if it's pronounced economics. It's not spelled economics. PC September 30th. Rogue Waters September 30th PC. Sunny Legacy Collection PC September 30th. Starfield Shattered Space Expansion came out on Xbox Series and PC yesterday. Little Survivors PC October 1st yesterday. Or no, that's today, I'm sorry. Master Detective Archives Raincode Plus PS5 Xbox Series PC October 1st. NBB.exe PC October 1st. Throne and Liberty PS5 Xbox Series PC October 1st. The Strongest Tofu PC October 2nd. Aichu Chibi Edition Switch October 3rd. Kill Knight PS5, PS4, Xbox Series, Xbox One, Switch, and PC October 3rd. Kavark PC October 3rd. MechWarrior 5 Clans PS5, PS4, Xbox Series, Xbox One, PC October 3rd. Victory Heat Rally PC October 3rd. Warhammer 40,000 Warpforge iOS, Android, PC October 3rd. Grun PC October 4th. SpongeBob SquarePants The Patrick Star Game PS5, PS4, Xbox Series, Xbox One, Switch, and PC October 4th. And Until Dawn's PS5 PC port on October 4th. Pick of the week, Starfield expansion. I can't wait to jump into Starfield whenever I get a chance.
Yeah.
Very much looking forward to it.
I'm going to choose the Patrick Star game just because there was nothing else on this list I really knew enough about. And
I'd recommend Until Dawn.
A lot of games. There's nothing that I
Well, it's because it's that time of the year where it's all the games are coming out, but like nothing wants to mess with Call of Duty.
Even Until Dawn, it's a great game, but it's just a
re-release. Yeah. No, for sure. All right, that's pretty much gonna do it. Again, sorry to everybody that Ubisoft stuff took up a lot of time. So we have to kind of run through the headlines. Hopefully, we covered everything at least a little bit, so you're ready to go for the week. If you want to have more conversations with any of the things we talked about today, join our Discord, which you can find in the description below. You can follow me on Twitter there. Although I don't know how much longer I'm going to be on Twitter because Elon Musk is getting rid of the block and mute features.
You can't block me anymore.
Well, not yet, but come December. That's pretty much it. If you like wrestling, I will be doing the Broken Tables podcast, AEW Dynamite Watch Along tomorrow on our other channel, which you can check that out. It's going to be a big show. It's the 5-year anniversary show, and there's going to be a new TV deal announced tomorrow, so that's going to be huge. So come check that out there. Hang out with us there. Until then, see you later.
See you.